Hey guys, this is RedHood420 here with the Overleveled podcast. I know you guys that have been following me on my YouTube channel know I used to have a old podcast just like this, but it's basically being reborn from the ashes like a phoenix. And I have a couple of people on the podcast, and they are very interested in talking about gaming news, and we will be talking about the Video Game Awards show, PlayStation Experience, and a heavily rumored game which is being worked possibly by Warner Bros. Montreal, and it'll be the Superman game. And we're going to go first with the Video Game Awards show, and everybody's been talking about that. And the nominees for Game of the Year would be Doom, Inside, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And personally, anybody that's been following me that knows that I love Uncharted 4. I thought the graphics were amazing, the combat was on point, and the voice acting is always top notch. Naughty Dog knows how to get the actors to their top potential. But that's just my opinion. We'll go around seeing who thinks what their game of the year should be that is not even on this list. So Taladio will go first.
Well, I believe, firstly, my name is Taladia Plays. Follow me on Twitter at mtaladia. So, firstly, I believe that we would get Uncharted for Nolan North has definitely got one of the awards for voice acting for Uncharted 4 in the bag. And there's a numerous other people in Uncharted who have got nominations, like Troy Baker, as an example. But that's what I think, that Nolan North will win an award for Uncharted 4 for Best Game of the Year.
Alright, what about you, Juke?
I feel like it'll probably be Uncharted 4. Every point that Taladia just said.
Okay. Indy, what about you?
Oh, well, I would think it would be Overwatch. Only because it's had a massive impact on like gaming community. Like, you see all these people, if they have like background gameplay, it's always Overwatch, and people have just loved that game. It became really popular really quickly. It's kind of like, in a way, it reminds me of Team Fortress 2, but just kind of revamped and everything. It's I feel like it's gonna win.
Very interesting perspective. What about you, Inspector? What is your game of the year on this list?
First off, I'm Taylor, but you can call me the Inspector. You can follow me at on Twitter at the Inspector. And I think it's personally going to be a close race between Overwatch and Uncharted 4, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Uncharted 4 just because personally I like the game better, and I think just the even though there's a lot of lore behind Overwatch, I think just the story in general for Uncharted, it's the conclusion to a 10-year saga to a game series, and I think it deserves Game of the Year.
Good. What about you, Reese? What do you think?
I think Overwatch, because it's a team building game where you it's not where you're a solo player. It's like you play with your team. That's my reasons.
All right. Nice. And what about you, Music? What do you think?
Personally, I think that Uncharted 4 would win because I really love Uncharted 4. It has a great story, and also it has a story unlike Overwatch, which is mostly just multiplayer, although it has, like you said, lore behind it. But also, I don't know about the past 3 games, but I don't know if it has multiplayer, but I know Uncharted 4 has multiplayer now. And also, you get to see Nathan's brother, so that's really cool.
Nice. And what about you, Inferior? What do you think?
I think Overwatch. It's been gaining a lot of popularity. I've seen a lot of graphic novels that have been written, a lot of animations, it's just been on everywhere, you know. A lot of people have been talking about it. It's another fun multiplayer, you know. It brings some new stuff to the table, so I think Overwatch.
All right.
So we got 5-3. 5 Uncharted, 3 Overwatch.
Yep, it'll probably be a close race for that because there's a panel for it. A lot of gaming journalists are the ones that choose who gets the game of the year. But yeah, that's very interesting hearing people's perspectives. I didn't think many would say Overwatch. I mean, I'm big on Overwatch for multiplayer aspects, but I'm not big on like it being game of the year. For me, best multiplayer.
I mean, a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
not a big
time,
fan of Overwatch. Go ahead.
a lot of the time it turns into a bit of a popularity contest with these things. Like, instead of being whatever the best game is. But I guess it's all opinion based in the end.
Oh yeah, it's always anyone's opinions.
Yeah.
No one can tell you different whether or not you think something's game of the year or not.
I'm not a big fan personally of Overwatch, but I just think that I might win because of the popularity that it has thrown on the internet.
Yeah, it's massive. It's a huge game.
All right, next subcategory that we find very interesting is Best Narrative. We got Firewatch, Inside, Mafia 3, Oxenfree, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And personally, I played Uncharted 4, of course, and Mafia 3. And Mafia 3 has a very compelling story. It's one of the most interesting aspects of Mafia 3. Everything has been criticized because of the mission structure, but the story is top-notch with the voice acting. And it's a very tight call for me, and I wouldn't be disappointed if either game wins Best Narrative because it has such a rich narrative for both games. And I think both of them should be able to win. But Inside, I've heard my friends that played this game, and they didn't say there's much of a narrative in that game, so everyone wonders why that it got nominated. So, and then Firewatch is just not very appealing to me. And Oxenfree, I've never played the game, so I can't really comment on it having a good narrative. So we're gonna go back to Taladia and so forth, like we did with the other category for Game of the Year.
Just before, wasn't Mafia 3 broken on?
Yeah, but this is for Best Narrative, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that has no impact on the story.
Okay, so I think it's a close call between Mafia 3 and Uncharted 4 because obviously Mafia 3 did have a really good storyline and it narrated really well, and Uncharted had the same thing and it really did well. So I think in terms of narrative, I would give the edge for Uncharted 4 because of the storyline they've had.
All right, Juke, what about you?
This is very hard for me because I have played none of these games. I just gave Uncharted 4 Game of the Year because I heard how good it is. From what I've heard from both of you, it would be in between Mafia 3 or Uncharted 4.
All right, Indy, what do you think? What deserves Best Narrative?
Yeah, well, Overwatch and what's it called? Uncharted were very close for me in the Game of the Year, and well, Overwatch doesn't really have a narrative. And one of the reasons that I thought Uncharted 4 was so good was because of its narrative, so I would go with Uncharted.
All right. Inspector, what about you?
I think it is a close race between Mafia and Uncharted, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Uncharted because I think it's more mainstream, I guess, because Mafia hasn't really been in the limelight since 2010 when Mafia 2 came out. So I'm going to give it the slight edge to Uncharted 4, and plus it's the culmination of the series. So I think Uncharted 4 takes it.
All right. Reese, what about you?
Mafia 3, the same reason as you.
All right. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Red Hood.
No, just keep going.
Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't be disappointed if Mafia wins. It's a close race. I wouldn't care if either one of them won.
Yeah, they're both good games.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't played Mafia personally, but I've heard great things about the story.
I think Uncharted might win.
All right, you think that, Inferior?
With the popularity that it has with the narrative, I think it might.
Okay. Interesting. So now we're going to go with best performance, and what Taladia said was that literally Uncharted dominated with a lot of nominations for this category, which we have Nolan North, of course, as Nathan Drake, Emily Rose as Elena, and Troy Baker as Sam Drake. And Mafia 3 also has a nomination from the main protagonist, and Alex Hernandez plays Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3, and personally, I loved his performance in Mafia 3, and I thought the performances from the cast from Uncharted 4, of course, were spot on. They were great, and then we have a couple of nominations from Firewatch, Sissy Jones as Delilah, and also Rich Somar as Henry from Firewatch. And personally, I will not be disappointed if any of the Uncharted cast gets the nomination for Best Performance, or Alex Hernandez as Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3. I thought their performances were great, and to me, I've heard the performances from Firewatch, and I didn't think they were anything noteworthy from the game. I felt like it was a solid performance, but nothing very extraordinary from their performances. Not that much emotion to me, though. So, Taladia, what about you? What do you think? Who deserves the best performance for this category?
It's a close one to call. I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Okay. It's all good. All right, what about you, Juke? Who do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? All right.
Close call.
Close call. And Indy, what about you?
So was the voice actor for Uncharted Nolan North?
Yes, Nolan North as Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good. Like, Nolan North is a really good voice actor to start with. He's voiced a lot of things, but I feel like he really shined in this.
All right, and what about you, Inspector?
As everybody said, I think it's too close to call. And I think the only reason why they didn't put Richard McGonigal in is because that would be too many Uncharted characters. Because Uncharted, I think Richard McGonigal killed it.
Oh yeah.
As Sully in Uncharted, but
Yeah.
I love Troy Baker, but I think it's going to be a toss-up between Emily Rose and Nathan and Nolan North.
All right, I can totally see that happening. And what about you, Inferior? Who do you think deserves this award?
Listen, so many people deserve this award. There really has been some great performances, so I don't know.
A really good year.
It could go either way, really.
Oh, yeah, I totally see it. I thought most of these nominations were spot on for Best Performance. So to me, if it's anybody from Uncharted and also from Mafia 3, I will not be mad or anything like that. So we're going for Best Action Game. Nominees are Battlefield 1, Doom, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, and Titanfall 2. And I played a little of Doom because I went over a friend's house to play it. And the action is so hardcore, like it's crazy violent and fun action. And Battlefield 1 also has some great set pieces for the action and in the multiplayer aspect as well as the campaign aspect. So for me though, I'm gonna have to say Doom would be getting this award. What do you think, Taladia?
Well, I think it's a close one between Battlefield and Overwatch because Battlefield 1 did an amazing job with their first-person shooter, and even the campaign as well. That was really cool to see some World War One, World War Two's type of thing, which we've never had before. And with Overwatch, it's a new thing. It's a brand new thing, and it got people hooked onto it, hook, line, and sinker. So it's a close one to me, Overwatch or Battlefield.
All right. And also, Juke, what do you think?
It's a close one in between Doom and Battlefield because I've seen gameplay for both.
All right. Nice. And Indy, what do you think? What is your action?
For me, there's three of them, and that's Overwatch, Doom, and Battlefield 1. And I'm going to put Overwatch to the side because I think Overwatch, it's action, but it's more repetitive action. Battlefield 1 is, there's those moments, only Battlefield moments, stuff like that, which makes the game way better. And like Doom has good action, but I feel Battlefield 1's action is more satisfying.
Interesting. Inspector, what about you? You going
Yep.
for Overwatch, Doom?
Like everyone, I think it's a close battle between Battlefield and Doom. Doom because it's like a rebirth, I guess, of Doom, and Battlefield 1 just because I've heard great things about the story and how like emotional it is. So I might give the slight edge to Battlefield 1.
Okay, and that's interesting aspect. And Reese, what about you?
Battlefield 1 because I think it's like got loads of action and especially because it's World War One, and I just like it.
Okay. Inferior, what do you think would get best action game? Doom, Battlefield, maybe Overwatch?
I don't think Overwatch. I think Overwatch was it wasn't as intense. Battlefield 1 looks pretty intense, like any other Battlefield game I see. But Doom, I think, will win because Doom was very hardcore. It was very like it was just like non-stop attacks, and sometimes if you were out of ammo, it put you in really tough situations. So I think it might be Doom. It was really.
All right. So we're going on our last nominations for. It's going to be most anticipated game, and I love like a lot of these games, so it's going to be hard for me. It's God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, Red Dead Redemption 2, and of course Zelda the Breath of the Wild. And these games I'm very excited for, like Mass Effect Andromeda I'm excited for. Horizon Zero Dawn, I even have a collector's edition for this game, and hearing God of War, the director for the second game, coming for this fourth game gives me high hopes for the game, and most likely it will be better than Ascension and 3. And Red Dead, like, it doesn't need anything more. Like, Red Dead was one of the best games that came out last generation for the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. And then, of course, Zelda, it has such a high pedigree for Nintendo. Everyone loves Zelda. I can tell you in college, a lot of people wear Zelda hats. It's so crazy. And personally, it's a very tough call. Like, I would want to say Mass Effect Andromeda for me, because I guess I'm such a big Mass Effect fan, and I loved Mass Effect 1, 2, and even 3 had its faults. I still love the game. And yeah, that would be my nomination for most anticipated game. So what about you, Taladia? What is your most anticipated game?
It has to be Red Dead Redemption 2, to be honest with you, because Red Dead Redemption 1 was a really serious, good game, and I believe it'll up the ante in the second game. So I mean, for even what's it called?
Horizon.
Horizon. Also, it's a very good game, but I think Red Dead Redemption beats it all. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. That is.
What is the most anticipated game for you, Juke?
Probably Red Dead Redemption, just because the first one did amazing.
All right. Indie Golf, what is your most anticipated game?
Alright, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Okay, not a no-brainer, but, okay, Red Dead Redemption had such a massive impact on, like, gaming as a whole. I've got it here, 9.5 out of 10 GameSpot, 9 out of 10 trusted reviews, 95 Metacritic. Like, this is one of the, like, most critically acclaimed games of all time. And it's, like, not like the second one that, like, I don't think it'll be as good as the first one, because that would be very hard, but I just feel like it's just, it's Red Dead Redemption, and making another one, I feel like it'll win.
All right. What about you, Inspector? What do you think will be most anticipated game for you, of course?
For me, I already voted, and I voted for Horizon Zero Dawn, just because I'm excited to see Guerrilla, like, do something other than Killzone. I love Killzone, but this game just looks super interesting, and the graphics look amazing. I'm not a big fan of, like, RPGs, but this might change my mind, because it just looks amazing from all the gameplay we've seen from, like, E3 and all that stuff. So it's a Horizon for me.
Yeah, and I would like to make a side note for Horizon Zero Dawn. And, of course, Inspector mentioned that the people, Guerrilla Games Studios, also made Killzone. And even though I think Killzone 2 was one of my favorite games out of the whole Killzone series, Killzone wasn't known for its story, but more for its gameplay mechanics and the world around it. And I loved how they took the criticism for even Killzone, was it Shadowfall? And they were just like, okay, we need to get a person that actually can write a story. So they hire a guy from Obsidian who did the Fallout New Vegas story, and that was like one of the best stories in the Fallout franchise. And he's working on Horizon Zero Dawn, and they're keeping it a mystery, and it shows this type of lore, like it brings you in. And I'm very excited for the game that's coming out on February 28th of next year. So Reese, what do you think? What is your most anticipated game out of the nominees?
Red Redemption. I can't see it.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, because I really like the first one, and same as Battlefield is like Western style.
Okay. And what about you, Inferior? What is your most anticipated game for
next year? I would say Red Dead Redemption, because it seems like it looks like a really good game. I enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed even the Undead Nightmare. But one thing I think is off-putting is that a lot of PC players won't be able to enjoy it because there's been the whole controversy with the console only. But for me, it's got to be the Zelda, because I'm just such a big fan of Zelda, and it's been getting a lot. It's been out there for a long time. I'm pretty sure it's even coming on 2 consoles, the Wii U and the new Nintendo Switch, I think. But for me, it's gotta be Zelda.
Yeah, I will probably get it for the Switch just to play it on the go, because it's fun to do that stuff. So we're gonna talk now about possible game trailers for companies that might show it off, and I would like to mention that Jeff Keighley is the host for the Game Awards. He always brings everybody in and creates and has all the gaming journalists come together and create this, and I give him props for that, because not many people help him out, and this is his show and he wants to do this for the gamers, so I gotta give him credit. And he also stated he doesn't want to have a No Man's Sky type of thing. And if anybody knows, the big controversy was No Man's Sky promised so many things in these type of trailers with not really anybody playing it. And he wants to have it gameplay trailers and not like pre-rendered or anything, and have it a demo. And one of the games confirmed to be playing is Mass Effect Andromeda. And I'm going to put my hat in and say that we're going to get a Telltale game, and I'm going to say it might be the level type of Telltale Batman type of sneak peek, and I'm going to say it's going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy's Telltale game that they're going to be showing off, because they've been showing off in the previous Game Awards show Tales of the Borderlands, Telltale Batman, and Telltale Game of Thrones. And to me, that's a no-brainer that they might be showing that off. And what do you guys think? What other games do you think they'll show off?
Injustice 2.
You think Injustice 2 is a character, perhaps?
Injustice 2, yeah.
Flash.
Okay.
Maybe like Flash, yeah. He was in the CGI trailer, but he still hasn't been announced, which is weird.
Okay. What about you, Taladia?
Well, it's a 50-50 thing. I know Telltale will actually reveal something at Video Game Awards, because they have done in the past. They have a track record of doing that. But in terms of any other games, maybe possibly WB Games Montreal. Maybe. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying maybe, because like with Arkham City with Rocksteady Studios, when they revealed Arkham City, they did a big a CGI trailer, and that was pretty damn cool to see that back in 2010, 2011. So, who knows?
Yeah, maybe we could possibly be seeing another Zelda trailer. Or not trailer, probably a demo, because they're saying demos. We might see a Zelda demo, and Nintendo likes doing the demos at the Game Awards show, and maybe they might announce a Metroid game, for crying out loud, because Nintendo hasn't been, like, Metroid hasn't come out for the Wii U at all, and that's crazy. It's one of their big IPs, and it might happen because the studio hasn't been doing anything after was it Tropical Donkey Kong game, and that would be also a prediction for mine. What about you, Juke? What do you think will be shown off at the VGA?
I feel like there might be a Zelda demo. Telltale might reveal something.
All right.
Maybe the possible Superman game will get a CGI trailer. Who knows?
Okay, what about you, Indie Golf?
Like I don't really know much, but I don't think they would reveal anything too massive. Maybe like a CGI short for maybe, you know, like Injustice. Like maybe reveal a couple like people. I'm not sure, but that's, you know, they might reveal like something to do with Zelda, or Telltale might reveal something.
All right, Inspector, what about you?
I think Injustice 2, but since Ed Boon has been hinting at guest characters, I know a lot of people don't like guest characters in Injustice, but at the VGAs in 2010, they revealed Kratos for MK9. So I wouldn't put it ahead of them if they were to reveal like Spawn in a CGI trailer for Injustice 2 and maybe reveal a couple more characters at PSX, which we'll get to later. But
Okay, what about you, Reese?
Injustice 2 either. Couple of like Flash or Captain Cold will get revealed, or like maybe Spawn.
Okay, what about you, Inferior? What do you think will be shown off demo-wise?
I was hoping for maybe a demo for maybe Injustice with the characters we have, maybe some new reveals. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm very excited for it, so yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
All right, music.
Wait. Can I just
keep going?
Yeah. Also, I maybe want to see something about the new Spider-Man game. We've had a brief look at it, but I would like to know more about it.
Yeah, and the hype has kind of gone down for it as well. So
yeah,
if they
it
did
has.
something,
Yeah.
if they did something, just like even just tiny, I don't know, it doesn't have to be anything massive. Just a tiny little thing to get the hype back up, and then
A second
release it
trailer.
along with Homecoming.
Just a second trailer showing new things, and that's it. You know, we're back on the hype train.
I feel you. What about you, music? What do you think will be shown off at the Video Game Awards show?
Well, definitely, I don't think that we know all the new characters in Justice 2, so maybe they're going to clarify about that, like all the new characters, they're going to tell us. And
Yeah,
maybe
because Flash was in it. Flash was in the CGI trailer, and he hasn't been released yet.
Yeah. And also, yes, more information about Spider-Man PS4, because for all I know for so far is that we only got one trailer, I think. So maybe just more information, maybe more about the story, or like what are the new features of the game.
Yeah, we also we got that 30-second, what is it, like, thing of zooming up on him on the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, they showed it just to be a tech demo and to show off the capabilities of what it will look like on the PlayStation 4 Pro system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was
someone
also
made like a 5-minute video about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was also hoping maybe for another trailer for Nintendo Switch. It's not really a video game thing, but it is kind of. But because we've only the Switch is coming very soon, and we still don't know much about it. There's still some information that we'd like to know. Like the battery life and etc. So I was maybe hoping for that.
Oh yeah, I would also make a comment about that because I know that they might have done a investment meeting about it, but the public hasn't known. We're only going off the rumors, and the rumor for the battery life, it's kind of concerning for me, but hopefully they'll clear it up and say, oh, that's not what the battery life is going to be, and supposedly the rumor is the battery life will be 3 hours portability-wise, and I'm hoping that's not the case. Maybe it's 5-6 hours instead.
Yeah. A lot of the time they like over exaggerate it like a bit. Like they'll say, oh, it's, I don't know, for anything they'll just go, oh, it's 10 hours and it's really like 8.5 or something, just to sell a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know some stuff about it, like if it can, like since it's cartridges now, if it can play 3DS games, or if just little things like that. How it works with to like clip it on and like off, stuff like that. That we should know.
Yeah, that would be an interesting concept, but I don't know if the Switch is a touchscreen handheld hybrid.
Yeah, it's a touchscreen.
Oh, it is a touchscreen?
It's touchscreen.
Okay.
Well, we haven't have any confirmed about it though. We haven't have any confirmed. If you look at the trailer, there are like some fingerprints on the screen. That could mean that it might be a touchscreen, but they still haven't really confirmed anything.
Yeah.
They haven't confirmed it.
Which they need to do, and they have to do this soon because it comes out in March. They have and December is around the corner, and so it's like 3 months basically, a little bit more.
Yeah, like why would people buy it if they don't know
anything about it? Yeah.
And it's not like a concept, because it's coming out. It's in March that it's going to come out, It's not a concept or anything. It's going to come out, and we still know. We know basically nothing about it. We don't know if there's going to be a stylus or anything. We don't know if there's. We don't know anything. We're hyped about it, but we don't.
Yeah.
Like Inspector, do you have any thoughts on that? And then Duke afterwards.
For the Switch, personally, I'm not interested in the Switch, so I have no opinion.
All right. Good. So I think we're gonna Juko.
As long as they have maybe a remaster of the older Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, instead of keeping them 3DS exclusive, I'd be pretty happy.
It would be cool, but I feel though because the DS is 2 screens, that's going to be hard in terms of porting wise. How it would translate over.
The Wind Waker.
I thought about that too, about the 2 screen for the 3DS, but if you look at the screen of the Switch, it's big enough to fit 2 screens like the 3DS, but it wouldn't be like 2 screens, but it's big enough to fit it.
Yeah, I could totally see it. I could see where you're coming from. That's what most people do on the PC, where they get the I don't know how you call it, the OS
emulator.
The emulator, yeah. And they get a DS type of game, and they have the 2 screens.
Well, I want to say something that Juke said. Well, Juke said that he wanted remasters on the Zelda games, but they already did that on the Wii U and on the 3DS. So I don't know if they're gonna make a remaster, just because we've already had it on the Wii U and the 3DS, which is 2 consoles already.
Okay. So I think we're gonna close off for the Game Awards show. So very interesting conversation. I liked it a lot. We're gonna go and talk about PlayStation Experience, and Sony did this type of conference for the fans. And they announced new things. It could be DLCs, it could be a new game, or it could be just a dev interview for the fans and questions asked for their favorite games. And Sony's done this since the time that the PlayStation 4 has been launched, or the year after it's been launched. And it's very nice. I wish I can go, but of course I always watch it online, and there could be games possibly being announced. I totally think that the Spider-Man PS4 trailer will happen at PlayStation Experience. I don't think it will happen at the VGA show. I'm going to say the PlayStation Experience. They might have a developer interview, possibly. We don't know if it's going to happen, but I can bet my money that there will be a trailer. If not, I will be a very sad person. But and then the potential possibility of Injustice might have a character. I know Street Fighter V announced their characters at the PlayStation Experience, so I wouldn't be surprised if Injustice did the same thing. And what do you guys think?
Do you know the date for the 2 things? Do you know where they're both, when they both are?
Oh,
what, you mean?
It's back to back, basically. The Game Awards show starts
the first.
I thought it was the 2nd.
First or 2nd of December, and then 3rd and 4th is PlayStation Experience.
So then
Yeah,
it's
you're right. It's
possible.
the 1st of December, and the 2nd and 3rd is the PlayStation Experience.
So it's possible they could do it at either one. Then.
Yeah, it's
like they could
possible.
release, because like PlayStation Experience, if there's a PlayStation exclusive something, then I would probably do it there. But they could do
Okay.
anything really.
But in my theory is the fact that I know we probably will get something for Spider-Man PS4 at PlayStation Experience because
PlayStation exclusive.
It's a PlayStation exclusive. It's not with Xbox, and at E3 they showed it only just at the Sony press conference. So I would think maybe we'll get a story type gameplay trailer, and maybe even get Injustice 2 and reveal their 2 characters, or possibly even a release date, which I think would be a perfect time for NetherRealm Studios and for WB Games to do something like this, especially because I know WB Games Interactive have got their own. They are going to be at PlayStation Experience.
What about you, Juke? What do you think will be shown?
It's probably Spider-Man PS4, some Injustice stuff. Maybe a CGI trailer, possibly, if it doesn't show up at the Video Game Awards of one of Warner Brothers Montreal's new video games coming out.
Okay, what about you, Indy? What do you think will be shown?
Well, I gotta agree with everyone else. Spider-Man PS4.
Okay.
And because it's gonna most likely gonna be a PlayStation exclusive.
True. What about you, Reese? What do you think is going to be shown?
Spider-Man PS4 and Injustice 2.
Okay. Inspector, what about you?
Gonna feel like a broken record, like everyone is saying. I'm gonna say Spider-Man PS4. Maybe not a demo. Maybe another trailer, but maybe more story aspects than we got in the first E3 trailer. Injustice 2, maybe a character reveal or two, and maybe a CGI trailer for the next superhero game, DC game by WB Montreal. A CGI trailer, nothing more.
Okay. What about you, Inferior? What do you think?
Well, I've already said about the Spider-Man PS4. I'm hoping for maybe another trailer. I think demo is a bit too soon for that. But remember a while back, wasn't there rumors for a new God of War game, and that just died down completely?
Well, no, they announced the God of War game
at
E3.
E3.
At E3,
Yeah, but maybe some new content or something. But because
no.
I haven't heard anything new about it, so maybe.
Okay. Yeah, no, I could totally see a God of War. Maybe trailer. I won't say demo. I would say trailer. And I would also say Days Gone was shown at E3. It'll probably possibly show up there. Maybe they might get an interview table for them. We don't know. And I would also say, I completely forgot, the Uncharted 4 single player will most likely show up. They've been hinting at that for a while. And it's the most logical place that they would have it being shown at.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot about Days Gone, and maybe a little bit more info on Death Stranding, but I don't know. It's Hideo Kojima, so maybe not.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima, I love the man. He makes great games, but I don't think that game will be out anytime soon. Maybe 2018, I think they said that was the release date, or 2019. But he has a habit of delaying games, so
yeah,
who knows?
Maybe a final trailer for Horizon, maybe.
Maybe. I would say possibly. Not a really long trailer, maybe a short trailer.
Yeah,
just
a
to
minute
get
and
the
a
hype up.
half. Yeah.
I can totally see that. What about you, Music? What do you think will be shown at the PlayStation Experience?
Definitely more about Spider-Man PS4, because a lot of hype is going on for that. So, and also Injustice 2, because it's been announced for quite a while.
I totally see that. Okay. So I think that's all we think that may be happening. Maybe Detroit, actually. I'm going to say Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Ooh, did
Quantic
Detroit
Yeah.
become human?
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
seen like a lot of it. The trailer that was shown at E3, which is a pretty cool game. They made a great game called Heavy Rain, and I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
love that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Beyond
good
Two
game.
Souls was eh. I mean, they kind of made some really dumb decisions making that game, but I think David Cage knows what went wrong with that game, and he's gonna bring it back. And it looks like he is.
Yeah. They also made Fahrenheit. I've never played Fahrenheit, but I've heard good things about it.
It is. And then what else? I don't know what else would be shown. Maybe another Tekken demo. I would just say Tekken.
Maybe Capcom versus Marvel 4. That has been leaked today. That was just
yeah.
posted up. So that could be possibly announced. Who knows?
That'd be interesting.
What,
That'd be interesting. Oh, sorry,
No,
Redhead.
just keep going.
Yeah, it would be interesting of having Marvel versus Capcom and Injustice at the same show.
Yeah, imagine that.
That'd be kind of funny.
Oh yeah, and also, let's talk really about Marvel real quick with their games. And it was interesting. I think it was at a movie, and I think Greg Miller was talking about this at his podcast, and he's one of the kind of funny guys. And he was talking about how Marvel representatives of the games got their, rights back, of course, from Activision for a lot of their game IPs. And they were saying, look, we want to make good games, so we're going to give it to these talented developers who we see fit, who knows the vision we have. And it seems like, and they announced at that time that Telltale was making a Marvel game. And then we got the announcement of the Spider-Man and the leak for Guardians. Do you think it's possible that they're planning on a shared universe for these games?
Yeah. I think
Most likely.
Because well, Telltale obviously, when that leak came out, it was obviously posted by IGN to double confirm it, to say, oh yeah, the Telltale are working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is obviously made by Telltale. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom, we don't have 100% confirmation from that, but if they do that, I think it would be shared.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Does everyone else agree on that, or actually disagree?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much what I'd say.
Yeah,
Universe?
I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
What I want as a little cameo or Easter egg for the Spider-Man game, which I would want a
Stark.
pizza mission. A pizza
A
mission
pizza mission.
from Spider-Man 2. Just one little side mission.
Or like a newspaper.
Get on the scooter
No,
and
no.
just drive away.
No, just from the Spider-Man 2. Like that stuff was funny to me. Always funny. It would be great. But I would say it would be interesting because we know in the Spider-Man game that Peter Parker is very seasoned. And he has been Spider-Man for quite a while.
Do we know this, or is this just rumors?
No, Insomniac said it themselves.
But do you think he's going to kill people?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
no, that's not Spider-Man.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
know a YouTuber did say that, but I didn't agree with what he was saying because he was talking about
Yeah,
the white
I mean-
logo and how that represents him killing, and I didn't think that was true.
No.
yeah, I mean, he could
might
be
not
like
stick.
grizzled, but he can still be grizzled without killing people.
I mean,
I don't think the white logo will stick. There will probably be alternate skin, and
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's
There's
a
going to be
big-
alternate skins.
I mean, people are arguing a lot about it, but it's not like you're going to use it all the time. A lot of people just end up using the alternate skins, that they unlock or whatever.
I can tell you right now, it grew on me. The
Yeah.
suit for me. And it's like I got combinations, and I made a video on my channel that I thought it was combinations of all the Spider-Man costumes from the movies. And from the back Spider-Man and the top and the chest emblem and just everything. Like I thought it was all because of the Civil War, Spider-Man 1, and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, I think it's from Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi movie, Spider-Man from the new Homecoming movie, and possibly even Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I would say the second one because they scrapped the first one. I didn't really see any similarities from the first one, but the second.
But wasn't the white logo like from one of the comics? Because I remember.
No. It's from the. If you take a look at it closely, the white logo, how big expansion at it, how big it is, you could probably tell that the chest emblem for the Spider-Man movie is the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what
it kind of looks like a white version of the Amazing Spider-Man logo.
I'd like I'd like abilities for the alternate skin, something that we haven't really had. Like for example, if you were to have the black skin, you'd be like stronger. Maybe like able to lift up cars. They did that in one Spider-Man game. I remember if you were like using the it was like I don't know.
I think it was Web of
Shadows.
Yeah, Web of Shadows. Right. If you were like bad and you had the black suit, then you could like lift up cars and throw them and stuff, which I thought was cool. So I'd like to see that maybe a sort of thing like that for the new one.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And also, like, I hope from this Spider-Man game, and I think this will be the last Spider-Man topic, is we have a type of side mission stories like Mysterio, how it was in Spider-Man 2, a couple of, B-list villains or C-list villains, for, like Witcher-style side missions. Their own, like, self-contained story.
So, like, Kingpin and Mysterio and all these different characters.
And I would also
maybe Shocker.
Yes, Shocker. I would say that too, and have it not like formulaic how it was in Arkham Knight, because in all honesty, the side missions for that game weren't the best story wise.
Some of them were good, but most of them,
most
they were just redundant.
Yeah, and I hope Spider-Man can learn from that type of mistake and make that good. But what about
aren't they gonna have Carnage?
But you guys are aware of the...
I don't think Carnage. Maybe Electro.
You guys are aware that the main villain for Spider-Man...
Yes, Mr. Negative.
Yeah, with the mask from the thugs,
Yeah.
Well, for the new Spider-Man PS4 game, I have... My thought is that the game is about Spider-Man kind of just starting being Spider-Man, just because in the trailer he says, like, it's hard to believe that, like, say, like, in New York rests on some kid of Queens. He's saying, like, I'm just a kid of Queens. So I'm thinking that he hasn't got the city's trust yet. So I think that what they should do is kind of give the origins of a couple bad guys,
Well, I think they can do a couple origins of bad guy, but Insomniac, I know, said that it was a seasoned Spider-Man. But I can totally see him from the trailer reflecting on him starting as Spider-Man and saying as a kid, because he's more, I guess, less of a kid now, but it'd be interesting because I know they're saying they're tackling both aspects of Spider-Man and Peter Parker in that game.
One thing you said, Derp, is that you said that he didn't have the city's trust yet. Well, he never has the city's trust with Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I know,
screaming at him.
The New Yorkers love him. They're always like, "Yeah, Spidey, like we love you, Spidey." Like in the the movies of Spider-Man 1, 2, 3 with Tobey Maguire, they're all like they're throwing parades for him, and they're like wearing costumes. And...
Yeah, that was a bit.
Yeah, you're right. That was a bit like too much. I think though they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Who's voicing Spider-Man? Is it? Because that voice sounds familiar.
We don't know.
Well, no, I do.
It sounds like Josh Keaton. Oh,
Yuri
Lowenthal?
Yeah, he's voicing Spider-Man. He did games like Persona 4 and 3, and also he voiced Sasuke in Naruto, the animated show. So I think we're gonna be done with this area for the topic, and we're gonna talk possibly of a certain game being announced. It could be a big possibility that this game will be announced at Game Awards, if not PlayStation Experience, and that would be the heavily rumored Superman game. And I would give it to Taladia to talk what this game will be.
Okay, so basically, guys, that there was a rumor speculating from July of 2015 where basically it was an image of a new 52 skin of Superman skin selection, and about a week or so later we had a GIF image of the same image basically pops up, and many people heavily rumored to, thought, oh, it could be fake, it could be real. Not many people knew. But then alongside that, we had concept art, which leaked over months, and then about December time, there was this NeoGAF user called Verendus, who is banned now, by the way. He's a Sony insider, and he stated that Superman is looking to make his triumphant return to video games in a non-fighting game. He has also talked about other games besides Superman. He's also talked about Final Fantasy, Street Fighter V, even Unravel, which was revealed last year, was it, guys?
I think so.
Yeah. Unravel, For Honor, Seas of Thieves, Dragon Quest, and the Spider-Man PS4 game, which was also, all of this was that he said in December of 2014, and he's got majority of them right. So that all was posted on NeoGAF, and not so long later we had an interview done with Nolan North stating that he would be working on a big project with WB Games and that it would take another 10 years of his life. But he could not mention what he's working on. Now, Nolan North has voiced Superman in the past, the Young Justice television show, and also the Lego Justice League Gotham Breakout movie, which was released earlier this year. So I believe in terms of release of an announcement for this would be either VGA or PlayStation Experience, because WB Games Montreal posted something on their Facebook page earlier this year stating they have a big surprise for us, but then they removed it from their Facebook page, so who knows, guys. But what I can tell you is, guys, that they have finished working on their first project, because they have posted at least 18 different jobs for their second game. So who knows?
Yeah, I totally buy it. There's just heavy evidence suggesting that this will be a Superman game, and getting all these games right in the past. And I don't know how some people dismiss it. I can see it, and we don't really even have heavy concrete information about this game that is called Batman whatever.
I mean, even with the Superman game rumored, even the Reddit post user posted a video of it, which he posted on his YouTube channel to even show people his evidence of this. So, what else does he need to really make people believe?
Yeah, I know I messaged him on the comments, seeing if he has any new information. He didn't get back to me, but I'll link what he has in the description box below if you guys find that interesting.
And all the credit goes to him as well, by the way, guys. All the credit, because all his findings of all gathering all the information goes to him. So big shout out to him.
Yes, a big shout out to him. And what do you guys think? Do you guys agree, disagree, and also what do you want from this Superman game? And also, do you think this will be connected to the Arkham universe?
No, I don't think connected to the Arkham universe. But
I think it's Arkham universe. There's been a lot of Easter eggs from Arkham Knights and dialogues and posters about Superman. Yeah, well, in dialogues and...
Yeah, and even Lex Luthor called, left a voicemail.
On Bruce Wayne's, yeah.
Wayne
so I think it might be in the but the one thing I don't want them to do, I don't want that. Superman is such a powerful being that I don't want them to mess it up in the video games. I mean, we know the history of Superman video games and it's not pretty, but I don't want them to make him like too overpowered. I mean, I want them to like
nerf him to the animation.
not make him. yeah, animated series that where he can only like big leaps, you know, maybe not fly, but big leaps. I think that make him a bit more like
Yeah, they'll probably
suitable.
will do that. They'll probably make him nerf him down to the animated series because I mean, Superman in the animated series, he wasn't the most powerful of characters, nor was he the most least powerful. But
Yeah.
he could face off against the likes of Parasite, Livewire, Lobo,
Wasn't Weather Wizard? Didn't he get defeated by Weather Wizard?
and Weather Wizard. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Weather Wizard as well, which is a Flash villain.
Like in the
And
show Supergirl, when they have like kryptonite bullets, maybe that could be a thing for the thugs to have against Superman.
yeah,
Speaking of Parasite, maybe that could be the instigation for the nerfing. Maybe Parasite just draws so much energy from Superman that it weakens him, and he has to build it back up.
That
I
could be
don't
true.
think so.
I mean, I could see that, and because I know games like God of War, where
Yeah.
literally every time in each entry of the game, he's like so powerful, and then he gets brought down.
Yeah, like
after
in
a
God of
certain
War
event.
3 where you go to hell, and
Yep.
it takes away all your weapons, and you have to build it back up.
Yep.
What if they had a what's it called? XP upgrade, like you could ability of sort of things, like, you know, for example, you have one move, but if you have a certain amount of XP, you can upgrade that to have a different sort of move, like 1000 fist with heat vision. That sort of idea would definitely be appealing. And, you know, even having a semi-indestructible environment, open world Metropolis, which I think will possibly even will happen, I think that would definitely work on the next gen console.
Also with Revendus, or what's his name?
Yeah, Verendus.
Yeah. You should link. We're gonna link the video that he made a massive video about all the information.
It wasn't Verendus. Sorry, it wasn't Verendus that uploaded the video. His name is Mercy with a mouse.
Oh well, we'll put the Verendus's Reddit post. Was it?
No, a NeoGAF post.
NeoGAF.
We'll leave.
Yeah, the NeoGAF post. So, and also we'll put the video because that puts in a lot of information that's useful.
Anybody else have to add anything about the Superman game?
I think the main will be
Yeah.
what was that on Brainiac?
I was thinking maybe give him like an alternative outfit, like the solar suit, like when he died.
Oh, you mean skins?
Yes.
Now that's
Yes.
a possibility. I think there's a number of lists you could have.
Yeah,
From
I would
nine-
like to
from
see
the
the one
90s.
that he wore when he died.
From, you know, I think they should have it from the 1930s all the way up to 2016. Oh, sorry, 2017 now. So I think they should do that, and I think they could start off with the first appearance, Red Sun, Alex Ross, even to have Christopher Reeve to pay a homage to him, even though I know he's passed away sadly.
The one that
He's the one who made us believe who could fly. I think that would be cool. The new 52, Rebirth, and even the new DCEU.
Do you
What
think
about-
that the
what
original?
about the one that he wore when he came back?
That's a possibility, but I doubt it.
Do you think that the suit that you start with will be the one that was leaked, or do you think it'll be like a new 52 kind of one?
We don't know, but the leaked image was WB Games Montreal said no, they went with a different game designer, according to the Reddit post user Matthew with a Mouth, who actually stated in his video, which you guys can watch, he said that when he spoke to him, he goes, they didn't go with his designs, which his name was Xavier Howlett, and it was all posted on DeviantArt. And also, by the way, guys, even the LinkedIn account, which was done by Kieran Turan, who's a big guy, worked with Nickelodeon, Call of Duty. He also posted stuff about the Superman game, stating, I've worked on a 3D facial upcoming Superman game, and then later removed it. So, to me, it looks like that's gonna happen. But in terms of everything else, we'll have to wait and see.
I have something to say. I know, Taladia, you're talking about the pattern that Rocksteady revealed Arkham City at the VGAs.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with WB Montreal, they revealed Arkham Origins through Game Informer. So I think
yeah.
it might still be a little bit too early for them to reveal. I know people might be disappointed if they don't reveal anything. They might hint to it, but they might reveal it in like a March edition of Game Informer or like an April edition of Game Informer. Then a trailer would come with the Game Informer.
But according to Verendas, he stated that we would get an announcement possibly coming over the 2 years, where he posted this stuff on NeoGAF in 2014, so he could be right, you see.
Yeah, it could be a possibility that they might not even do a full trailer. It might be a short tease about it, like a little CGI.
Yeah, just a little CGI trailer that will just keep people a little bit of hope. So then at least WB Games Montreal have done something about it and not kept us in the dark.
Yeah,
because if they leave us in the dark, I don't think many fans will have big excitement for the next game.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from.
I could totally see every big major game gets a Game Informer article, not even article, it's on the cover of the page and several pages about what's going to be in the game, what's going to be gameplay mechanics. They did it with the Arkham Knight, they've done it with Mass Effect. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it, but yeah, I would totally see a Game Informer later, but maybe a possible teaser, Game Awards or PlayStation Experience. Yeah, so I think we're going to wrap it up. And we're going to do people's plugins for what they do in possible. If they do YouTube, they do YouTube. If they want you to follow them on Twitter. Everybody's links will be in the description. So we're going to go with Taladio. Do your plugin.
Okay, my plugin is called Taladia Plays on YouTube. All you got to do is search up Taladia Plays. My Twitter is @mtaladia. You can follow me. So, yeah, the link will be in the description, guys.
Okay, what about you, Juke?
I have a YouTube called The Meme Dangar and a Twitter @Juki7667. Should be in the description.
All right, Indy, what about you?
It's just my tag for Discord, Twitter @IndyGolf99.
All right, Inspector, what about you?
You can follow me on Twitter @TheInspector with an ER at the end.
Reese, what about you?
My YouTube channel is called ReeseM23 and my Twitter is called ReeseM2304.
All right, and Inferior, what should people follow you, or if you have a YouTube?
I don't really have a YouTube, but if you want to follow Twitter, it's just Inferior8919, and I have a little profile of like a little stickman guy with a tie.
And guys, remember, I will have everybody's information on the description box below. If you want to subscribe to them, follow them on Twitter, do any of that. They're really good. They contributed a lot to this conversation. It was very enjoyable talking to every single one of them, and hopefully we'll be able to do this weekly for gaming news or even comic book movies and other things that interest us in this conversation. Most of us knew what topics we were going to do, but then it started evolving into other things we wanted, and that's very enjoyable to know and to do. And I really liked it, and hopefully we get to do more in the future. So guys, this is the Overleveled Podcast, episode 1, and we are signing off.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.